Hello everyone, we will continue to talk about this topic methods to bring better developmental gains. In this video, we will see what is the role of a developmental pediatrician because many parents are taking their children straight away to various therapies like occupational therapy or speech therapy without consulting a developmental pediatrician. Children with various special needs and developmental problems have a lot of medical problems which are not shown outside. Because of that, many parents may not be able to find out whether their children have any medical problems or not. So only a developmental pediatrician can do a lot of investigation and clinically evaluate the children and find out if there are any underlying medical problems that are compromising their development. They will refer each child according to the child's need to various therapies like occupational therapy or psychologist services or special educators and etc. So it is very important to meet a developmental pediatrician and get a consult. I'm sure many parents are watching this video who have not consulted a developmental pediatrician before. Now we will see what does a therapist do or what happens in the therapy center or during a therapy session. A child with developmental problem must receive professional help from various specialities because only then the parents will be able to understand what the problems are there in their children and what exactly they need to do. So it is a place where the parents can learn some techniques that can be applied at home to improve their development or to foster their development. So the therapy centers or the professionals will give a lot of ideas to optimize development. And they will also explain about child's problem, what exactly the problem the child has. And they will be assessing the child's abilities. It is very important to start therapy. Unless we know the child's developmental level or the stage where the child is at the current point, it is very difficult to start therapy. We do not know what to do, what to start, how to start, and things like that. So the therapy centers and the professionals who are working with the special need children will be able to assess and exactly tell what is the child's level and where the therapy should start and how it should start and what should be done. And they will also help in monitoring the child's progress. They have to see how the child is improving. They have to find out whether the child is improving or not. If not, why is the child not improving? They will be able to find out and tell the parents the reason for it. And they will help in deciding about the goals. What are the goals that can be worked at the current point, and what are the goals that can be worked out after 2 or 3 weeks? How much time will be needed to achieve certain goals? All these details and all these explanations will be given by the professionals. So it is important for every child and every family to visit and get professional help. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are watching this video have not taken their children to the professionals. It is highly risky because there are so many things that can be solved when the child is taken to the professionals. Many parents are very anxious to accept the diagnosis, or some of them are not confident to take their children because of various reasons. They may be anxious that their child and their family will be looked down, and it becomes a great stigma in the society. So there may be so many things that are preventing the families to visit and seek professional help. But it is better to go and get sorted out now than piling up all the problems. Because when you take your child at a later stage, it becomes very difficult for you and for the professionals. So early the intervention, better is the outcome. So I urge the families who have not visited the therapy centers or who have not sought any kind of professional help, please do visit and seek professional helps for the benefit of your children. Okay, having said this, we should also understand that therapy is not a substitute for various things. Some families and some parents, they think that if they leave their child in the therapy center for 1 hour or 2 hours, or if they allow the therapist to come home and do therapy for 1 hour or 2 hours, their child will develop automatically. It is not the case. We cannot substitute therapy for the home environment. Remember what we discussed about the development? The development happens at the home environment. It is not 1 hour or 2 hours. It is as long as the child is awake in a day, the development keeps happening. So you have to make sure that your home environment provides such wonderful and pleasing opportunity for the child to develop. And therapy is not a substitute, or therapist is not a substitute for parents and family members. So the parents and the family members should be available to the children. Just because you take the child to a therapy center or because a therapist is coming home and giving therapy, that doesn't mean that the parents and family members can wash off their responsibilities. I understand that many parents are working, both parents are working. It may be very difficult to take care of the child or to spend time with the child. In that case, you have to make sure that you put certain things in order or you do little modifications or adjustments in the daily routine of the child and the daily routine of yourself so that your child's development will not be affected. So we will see in detail what are these things in the upcoming videos. And therapy is not a substitute for family time. So absolutely this is very important. Whether you go for therapy 1 hour a day or even 2 hours a day, you make sure that you have a family time with the child. So only that can bring development in your child. So you have to organize your time, your routine so that your child gets a family time. And of course, this is again very important in this environment or in the current situation. It is very difficult to provide the children with this particular thing of being with peers and playing with siblings. But as a parent, you need to take every step to make sure that the children are having their playtime with their peers or with their siblings. So many children are playing with their own gadgets or with their computer games, and you hardly see children coming out and playing in the street or outside the house. But for a child with developmental problems, this is very important. So we will also look into ways where we can find opportunities or we can find methods to give playtime for these children with their peers and their siblings. Before going into specific techniques and tips for modifying and adjusting the environment and the daily routine, we will just see some of the general consideration that everybody should keep in mind, and this is very important and this is unavoidable. These are general considerations that are common for all children and for all families. The first thing is that we need to avoid e-media, gadget or TV or any kind of screen time for the children. We should stop all these things. This is the first step that we need to do, which paves the way for development. The next thing is that if the caregiver also stays away from all these things, then the developmental outcome will be more. It may be very difficult for the chief caregiver if the person's work involves using any of these things, but we can try using this only during the work time, and apart from that, it is advisable that the chief caregiver stays away from this. Chief caregiver is the person who stays with the child for maximum time in the day and does a lot of things with the child, like feeding the child, taking care of the child. Usually it is the mother, and if the mother and both parents are working, it may be a grandmother or grandfather. Gadget-free home environment is the best home environment for the child. So, if possible, it is better to make sure that no one uses any of these gadgets apart from their working hour or for important use. If you cannot make the home environment, that is the whole home environment, gadget-free, at least the chief caregiver can stay away from this e-media. Definitely avoiding or stopping the children from screen time is absolutely necessary for their development. This fact was shared by many parents who were waiting to get therapist appointment for their children. During that waiting period, they were asked to stop all this screen time and e-media exposure. So when they had got their appointment with the therapist and they consulted the therapist, say after 3 weeks or 1 month, the child had already started to show a lot of improvement in speech, in communication, and in social skills, and in various other skills. The amount of development depends on these factors. So it happens in this order. If screen time is avoided for the child, then the child starts developing. If the caregiver also stays away from the screen time, then the child develops more. And if nobody watches and if the home environment is totally gadget free, then the development happens even more. So, this is the order in which it happens. So, you can decide what level of development you want for your child and decide accordingly and set up your home environment accordingly. The reason behind this is nowadays the e media is a distracting factor for adults also. All age group people are distracted by these e-media, including older people. Because of that, automatically their interest to spend time with children or with other things is reducing. And that is the reason why a child's development is dependent on the e-media or the amount of e-media used by the child, by the caregiver, and by the rest of the family members as well. Is it possible? Some of us may be thinking that is it possible in this world? If we are determined to do so, I think this will be possible because many of us say that my child is my life, or people say that my child is my world. So if your child is your world, and for your world and for your life, I think it is easy to give up the screen time. So many of us do a lot of restrictions for ourselves for various reasons. So many times that we stay away from certain things. For example, people stay away from non-veg for religious reasons, or people stay away from certain things during their fasting time. And during this pandemic, all of us were able to stay away from social gathering, and we gave up so many things that are part of our life. So how is that possible? If that is possible, then I think for the sake of children and for their development, this should also be possible. Even though it is difficult, it is not impossible. So let us determine ourselves to provide the best developmental opportunity for our children. Even if you cannot do it for a long period of time, you can just try for a short period of time. For example, 3 months or 2 months. You will be able to see amazing difference in the child's development, and that will definitely motivate you to extend the time. We will continue to speak on specific techniques, tips, and scheduling the day in the upcoming videos. For any queries and consultations, you can email at the following mail ID, that is childcareguidance@gmail.com.